Greetings, film aficionados. Welcome back to our channel, Real Epic Quest. Today, we're embarking on an epic journey as we compare two cinematic titans. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Once Upon a Time in the West. We're about to delve into the similarities and differences that make these films masterpieces. Don't forget to hit subscribe and let us know in the comments which film you prefer. Let the face-off begin. First, let's talk. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, set in the 1960s, takes us inside the walls of a mental institution, exploring themes of rebellion and conformity. Milos Forman, the visionary behind One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, had a knack for capturing the human experience with an intimate touch. Jack Nicholson, famous, said, "It's one of the few times I've seen a movie and I wasn't it where I thought I wouldn't change a frame. I thought every performance was great. The direction, the writing, and of course, Louise was magnificent. I was lucky to get that part." Forman's direction often focused on authentic performances and character-driven narratives. In Cuckoo's Nest, his use of close-ups and a naturalistic approach brings the audience into the minds of the characters, creating an emotional connection that resonates long after the credits roll. A real fun fact about One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is that the role of Chief Brondon, the seemingly deaf-mute patient, was portrayed by Will Sampson, who was not only an actor but also a talented painter and musician. Sampson, a Native American of the Muscogee Creek Nation, brought authenticity to his performance as Chief, drawing from his own experiences and cultural background. His contribution added depth to the character and showcased the film's commitment to capturing diverse perspectives. Off-screen, Sampson's multi-talented abilities enriched the artistic landscape beyond the confines of acting. Forman's approach to Cuckoo's Nest reflects his commitment to realism. The film is shot in an actual mental institution, and the performances feel genuine, adding layers to the character's struggles. Forman's lens captures the rebellion against oppressive authority, emphasizing the human spirit's resilience against conformity. His directorial choices elevate the film's impact, making it an immersive experience. Another real fun fact about Milos Forman is that before becoming a renowned filmmaker, he was a competitive skier in his native Czechoslovakia. Forman's early passion for skiing eventually led him to pursue studies at the Prague Film School, setting the stage for his remarkable journey into the world of cinema. This unexpected transition from the slopes to the silver screen adds a fascinating layer to Forman's diverse background and showcases the varied paths that talented individuals can take on their way to success in the film industry. Now let's dive into Once Upon a Time in the West, a spaghetti western from 1968. Immerses us in the dusty landscapes of the American frontier. Two different worlds, each a reflection of the social and cultural contexts of their time. Sergio Leone, the mastermind behind the epic Once Upon a Time in the West. Cinematic style is grand, sweeping, and visually stunning. Known for his spaghetti western aesthetic, Leone employs expansive landscapes, long shots, and deliberate pacing. In Once Upon a Time in the West, Leone crafts a visual tapestry where the environment becomes as much a character as the actors. His use of silence and minimal dialogue creates tension that builds with every scene. A real fun fact about Once Upon a Time in the West is that director Sergio Leone initially considered casting Clint Eastwood, his frequent collaborator from the Dollars trilogy, in the lead role of harmonica. However, Eastwood turned down the role, leading to the casting of Charles Bronson. This decision marked a departure from the iconic partnership between Leone and Eastwood, and Bronson's portrayal of harmonica became a defining element of the film. The change in casting brought a fresh dynamic to the narrative, and Bronson's performance contributed significantly to the film's enduring legacy in the Western genre. Charles Bronson once said, "Sergio Leone is a very meticulous director who knows exactly what he wants. He's very careful about what he does, and he takes his time. It's a great experience to work with him." Leone's cinematic spectacle in Once Upon a Time in the West is a visual feast. His meticulous shot compositions and use of natural elements showcase a mastery of visual storytelling. Leone's deliberate pacing, punctuated by Ennio Morricone's iconic score, builds tension and anticipation. Every frame is a carefully crafted piece of art, contributing to the film's status as an epic Western masterpiece. Another real fun fact about Sergio Leone is that he initially aspired to become a musician before finding immense success as a filmmaker. Leone studied at the National Film School in Italy, but his early dream was to become a concert pianist. Although he ultimately chose the path of cinema, his love for music remained a constant throughout his career. This musical inclination is evident in his films, where iconic scores, especially those composed by Ennio Morricone, played a pivotal role in creating the atmospheric and emotional impact that defined Leone's distinctive cinematic style. Despite their distinct styles, both directors share a common focus on characters. Foreman and Leone both bring characters to the forefront of their narratives, allowing the audience to deeply connect with their journeys. Whether it's the inmates in Cuckoo's Nest or the enigmatic figures in Once Upon a Time in the West, character-driven storytelling is a hallmark of these directors' cinematic prowess. Sacrifice and redemption play significant roles in both films. Cuckoo's Nest reaches a tragic climax with McMurphy's sacrificial act, challenging the audience's notions of heroism and freedom. In Once Upon a Time in the West, characters grapple with their pasts, seeking redemption through their actions. The themes of sacrifice and redemption add layers of complexity to both narratives. What makes these films truly stand out are their unique storytelling devices. Cuckoo's Nest employs the perspective of Chief Brondon, a seemingly deaf-mute patient, providing a distinct lens on the events. On the other hand, Once Upon a Time in the West utilizes Sergio Leone's cinematic style, with long shots and minimal dialogue, creating an atmospheric and tension-filled experience. Now let's dig deeper into character arcs. Harmonica's arc is revenge and redemption. Initially introduced as a mysterious figure seeking vengeance against Frank, Harmonica's past unfolds gradually throughout the film. His journey is one of solitary determination, driven by a desire to settle a score that ties back to his own traumatic history. As the narrative progresses, Harmonica evolves from a stoic avenger to a figure seeking closure and catharsis. McMurphy's arc is rebellion, liberation, and ultimately self-sacrifice. Initially introduced as a defiant and charismatic anti-hero, McMurphy's arrival at the mental institution disrupts the status quo and challenges the oppressive authority of Nurse Ratched. Through his interactions with fellow patients, McMurphy discovers a sense of camaraderie and purpose, leading a revolt against the institution's dehumanizing practices. His arc culminates in a tragic yet redemptive act of defiance, symbolizing his unwavering commitment to freedom and individuality. Jill's arc: resilience and transformation. She begins as a vulnerable widow thrust into a dangerous and unfamiliar environment. Through her encounters with various characters and challenges, Jill learns to navigate the harsh realities of the West, while also finding inner strength and agency. Her arc culminates in a sense of empowerment as she takes control of her destiny and stands her ground against formidable adversaries. Nurse Ratched's arc is one of control, manipulation, and eventual unraveling. As the authoritarian figurehead of the mental institution, Ratched initially exerts unwavering control over the patients, enforcing strict rules and maintaining a facade of composure. However, her power begins to erode in the face of McMurphy's defiance and the growing unrest among the inmates. Through the course of the narrative, Ratched's icy facade cracks, revealing glimpses of vulnerability and insecurity beneath her authoritative exterior. Her arc culminates in a moment of reckoning as she confronts the limitations of her control and the consequences of her actions. Frank's arc embodies themes of power, corruption, and existential crisis. Initially depicted as a ruthless antagonist serving as the muscle behind powerful interests, Frank's character gradually reveals layers of complexity and vulnerability. His interactions with Harmonica and the unfolding events force him to confront his own mortality and the consequences of his actions. Frank's arc is one of descent as he grapples with the realization of his own mortality and the fleeting nature of power. Chief Brondon's arc is one of awakening, empowerment, and liberation. Initially depicted as a silent and marginalized figure within the institution, Chief gradually emerges as a central figure in the resistance against Nurse Ratched's tyranny. Through his bond with McMurphy and his own personal journey of self-discovery, Chief confronts the oppressive forces that have kept him silent and marginalized. His arc culminates in a powerful act of liberation as he breaks free from the confines of the institution, symbolizing his reclaiming of agency and identity. Finally, let's touch on the endings. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest concludes with a gut-wrenching sacrifice that challenges our perceptions of heroism and freedom. On the other hand, Once Upon a Time in the West culminates in a poetic and satisfying resolution, offering closure to its sprawling narrative. Both endings, though different in tone, leave an indelible mark on the viewer. As we wrap up our exploration, we've witnessed the unique cinematic styles of Milos Forman and Sergio Leone. Forman's emphasis on realism and rebellion in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest contrasts beautifully with Leone's grand tapestry and cinematic spectacle in Once Upon a Time in the West. Two directors, two masterpieces, each leaving an indelible mark on the world of cinema. Share your thoughts in the comments, and until next time,